Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm Florence Amaremu. How are you guys doing? Hope you all are doing great. So guys, today's video I'll be showing us how to use just cup bra to sew our this beautiful corset you all are watching. Before we go into the video, I want to appreciate each and every one of us. Thank you for your supporting your girl. I appreciate you all. Thank you so much. Love you all. I appreciate you. I'm not taking it for granted. Thank you all. So guys, the first thing I did was just to draft out the basic bodies um, pattern. I'm taking the shoulder measurement divided by 2, 18 divided by 2, that is 9 inches. I went ahead, take the neck width and neck depth. And now on the shoulder, I'll be coming down by 1 inch, just the basic bodies. I'm just doing this because this is a step-by-step tutorial. So for beginners, just to start with the basic um, pattern. I'm starting out with the basic pattern. So I'm using the French curve to curve out the neckline. So I will be taking the armhole length. To get your armhole length, divide the bust by 6, then add 1.5 to the answer you get. So whatever it gives you, you place it on the shoulder slant and take it down. So my armhole length is 8.5, so I've taken, that's why you see me using the dotted line to indicate the chest line. So I'm going ahead to take the bust line, that is, I'm taking the bust line, that is it right there. Then I'll be taking the under bust, which is 15 inches. I'm just taking 2 points so as to enable me to make a straight line. The next is the half length. I will make a straight line. The pattern paper I'm using to draft this corset is not the total length, but I'm just showing how I went in 2 inches at the center front, and on the side I'll be going down by 2.5. Actually, I took 2.5. So guys, by the time I will be cutting it on the fabric, I'll be taking the actual length. I will show us the way it's looking. But for now, let us go by this. You will actually see it on the fabric. So I'm just going ahead to rule the length. Just to make a straight line on the armhole, I will take the half length of the armhole. This is for if you want to, use the yoke for the corset. Actually, I didn't use it, but I'm just drafting it. Just in case one wants to use the corset. So for me to get the curve at the armhole, I'm just imputing my bust measurement so as to get the armhole. So I went in at the midline of the armhole by 0.5, just so as to enable me to curve it. Curve the armhole. So the next thing I'll be doing now is I'll be going up by ½ inch at the under bust. I went up by ½ inch at the under bust, ½ inch. So you can see me just go from your under bust line, go up by 0.5 and make a straight line right at the under bust. So I'm just trying to show us the curve. This is the curve I use. Is the BC size. Yeah, BC size curve. Make sure you know the size of the boobs you are working with. So I went up at the bust line. I went up by 1.5, and I'll be going in just as you see me do so by 0.75. So I will connect that line down to the 0.5 that went up at the under bust. just as you see me do. So we're done. So the next thing I will do is to place this cup on the underbust, just the way I placed it at the 0.5 that we went up, not exact directly under the underbust. We remember we went up by 0.5. So I will allow that cup to rest on the 0.5 we went up. So at the armhole line or the chest line, I will be coming down by 1 inch. I'll be coming down by 1 inch. I will just make a straight line at that 1 inch. Going to it just like so. Now it's time for me to trace out the cup. You can see the way I'm tracing it. I'll right from that 1 inch. I went down at the armhole. I will now trace, holding on the cup firm to the pattern paper so as the black cup not to move. So I will keep on tracing it out like so. And I will trace it to the that space, the 1.5 inch and 0.75 that we went in. You see me there, just that way you see me do. So I will trace it out towards to the center front. You can see it right there. So I will just trace out the cup completely. After, you will see the way the shape is, but don't forget to trace it out towards, you can see towards the center front, the 1.5 we went up and the 0.75 we went in. You can see the way I curved it out. So now I will impute my measurements. My bust measurement is 41 divided by 4. Whatever it gives me, you add your sewing allowance. I will go under bust is 38 divided by 4. Whatever it gives you, you add your sewing allowance. At the under bust, the same thing at the waistline, divide the waist by 4. Add sewing allowance 2 inches, 1.5 inches, depending on how you want the allowance to be. So at the waistline, I'll be going down by 2.5 inches. Actually, I went down by 2.5 inches, not 2.5 inches. Don't forget the 2 inches on the center front that I will be connecting it, but I will because the pattern paper is not enough, I will be showing us how I extended that to get the actual length of the shape of the corset at the center front the way I want it. I will not be cutting directly on that line, so I'll be going up just the way you see me. I'll be making a line 1/2 inch around the traced cup that we had on the pattern paper. I went in by 1/2 inch, and at the top too, I will not be cutting directly on that. I have my 0.75. I'm talking about the color, the red marker, the red line. That is where I'll be cutting. I will cut through the red line. I'll now cut out the excess just to shape out my pattern paper. You can see I'm just cutting on the red line. This is the way it will fit. Just showing us how the way measuring that it fits in the space that we cut out. I'm still trying to show us that we still have to shape out that particular spine. So I'm cutting out the back, basically the same thing. There is no changes, the same. Get the shoulder, divide by 2, get the neck width, connect the shoulder to the neck width, It's just for those that want to use it for the yoke. Get the armhole, extend that, call that the chest line. We'll get the bust line, the under bust line, the half length. I'm just trying to mark it out so far so that this video doesn't take that long. The bust line, I'm just getting the bust point, under bust point, the waist point, then I will connect those points to make a straight line. At the back too, I'll be going down. Remember in the front we went down by 2.5, so at the back at the waistline I'll be going down by 2.5, and I will make a straight line just the way we did on the side of the front. Remember, it's just on the side of the front, but this time around we'll be taking the whole back, the 2.5 down, and make a straight line. I'm just marking out the armhole line. Get the midline of that, and we get the measurement and make a curve to meet the midline of the armhole. I'm just trying, I will input the bust measurement just this to enable you to have, create your curve. I will now connect those curves to meet the midpoint of the armhole. This time around we are not going in by 0.5 because it's the back side of the corset. Now I will be inputting my bust line measurement, under bust line. Remember, we are dividing by 4. Your bust line divide by 4, waist under bust round measurement divide by 4, the circumference. On the waistline circumference you divide by 4, but on the shoulder you divide by 2. So I'm just trying to impute all that in right now. After doing that, I will now connect those points to shape the corset. So I'll be marking out the midline, nipple to nipple measurement, which is 8 divided by 2, it gives us 4. So I'll be inputting 4.5. So I'll get a straight line. That's the 4.5. I'll get a straight line, make a straight line. This is just a dart. Half inch on the under bust on both sides, half inch on both sides. On that straight underline at the nipple to nipple measurement line that we drew. So I will just connect that down just as you see me do. So connect that to make the straight line down. At the bust line I'll be going down by 1 inch. I'll be going down by 1 inch, then I will finish up that and meet at the 1 inch we went down at the under bust. This is just for yoke. Let me say it one more time. It's just for those of if you want to use the yoke. I will impute the length of the that's at the back. I just want it to, in case I want to use the yoke, it's going to be a V neck. So I'll at the neck width I went down by 7.5, depending on how deep you want it. I just connected that down to the 7.5 and went down. Connect the neck width to the 7.5, so I'll be cutting it out. Basically, basic bodies cutting. So guys, this is what I meant by that. I'll be, because the pattern paper wasn't enough, you can see the way I shaped the 2 inches that went down. Remember, we went down at the waistline 2 inches, And at the front center front, we remember we went like 2 inch and transferring that 2 inches down. That is the length of the corset. So I will now connect that curve, that like so. That's the back. So we are cutting out the curve. Cutting out the curve. This is I folded it the way it will be sitting on the bust. I'll fold it into 2 equal halves. So I'll ensure I place it on the lining. I will give it a 1 inch round. The shape, I'll be cutting out the shape of the cup, the bra cup. Let's make sure I'll be putting a 1 inch allowance round. 1 inch allowance round the bra cup. I will trace it out. I traced it out the shape of the bra cup. So 1 inch round, then I'll be cutting it out. So this is the way it's looking. Just to show us, I'm just cancelling it to tell me that's the back. So I'm showing us where I will be stitching on, like so, and I will chalk it just a little bit, half inch. You might not be up to half inch, just to sew right there, and I will chalk this too. That's the way I'll be sewing it together. So I will use that lining to cut on the fabric. Actually, I wanted just the white side of the fabric to show. I don't want any red or any. You can see it's just only the white pattern on the fabric I'm cutting out. So that just to give it another kind of design. So I will just use that lining that I've cut out on of the bra cup shape. I will place it on the fabric and I will cut the same thing out. This is the same thing with the lining. So I want this to be a kind of three-piece bra cup bra pattern. So I want it to be three-piece. So I will go ahead the upper one and the two lower bra pattern. So I'll be marking out 3.5 inches, just the way I did so, and I will curve it. If you don't want the three pattern, you can leave it just the way it is and stitch it by the shape of the curve. But I just want it to be three pattern, one at the top and two down the um the breast. So I'm just cutting out that 3.5, and I will give it a kind of curve. That's why I'm cutting out that 0.5 out. I'm just trying to shape up the curve. If you have watched up to this point and you've not subscribed, what are you waiting for? Subscribe to your girl. Please leave me a comment in the comment section. Give me a like, which like if you find this video useful. For those of us that are just joining for the first time, thank you for supporting your girl. Thank you for tuning in. I really appreciate you. So guys, I'm just showing us after placing the bra cup and the space for the fabric, you can see the way it's looking. So for us to make it firm and not loose, so I'll be using a pin to hold it down. This way I'll be able to sew it down with a machine. So I will go ahead. Before that, I will place this. You can see the way I said it's three-piece bra cup style, the one at the top and two down. So where I'll be placing that right across, and I'll be placing this. You can see the way it's gonna this design. After stitching it, see the way it's looking. So I'll go ahead to trim out the excess I'm having. So I've already put in that's the front. I have put my the collar stay on it. So I'm showing us how I'll be placing the bias. The bias I did it myself. So I'll be placing it on the fabric the way you see me place it. I'm just showing us what next I will be doing with all those with the bias. I will do that to the front, then I will do same to the back also. I will be using zipper. I'm not using a rope. I'll be using no loop, no eyelet. I'll be using zipper on this corset. So this is the back up. I'm bringing it back just to show us the way it's going to fit. You can see like so, the way I'll be placing it um, on the space. So I will go ahead and cut out the excess. Please, as I was saying earlier, please don't forget to subscribe to my channel. What are you waiting for? If you have not subscribed, leave a comment in the comment section. God bless you as you do so. Please don't also forget share my videos for someone out there to also learn, you know, learn something from it. So I'm just showing us the front and back, the way it's looking. I've already attached the cup to it. So the next thing, after attaching the bias to place particular the size I want to put the bias, this is the boning I'll be using. This is the polyester um boning. You can, we're using a lighter to burn the edges, or you can cut it off, use a tape, before inserting it into the space. So I'm just showing us. I'll go ahead and insert the boning to all the um, bias that I've placed on the fabric. I will put the boning in each line, after which I will cut it off. So this is the way it's looking, guys. Uh, so I've attached the lining also to it. After attaching it, I notched it, gave it a good press. So this is the way it's looking. So I will sew at the curve half inch 0.5. So this is the back also. I've attached the boning. Yes, so I'm just removing the white thread. That white thread is just a kind of tacking for me to give it a good press. So I will turn the lining like so and cut it. So I'm just showing us I will be notching the cut and that particular side, and I will turn it out just like so, and I will give it a good press. Also the back, I've turned it out. So the next thing to do is to attach the back to the front. Measure it out one more time, then you attach your but I attached it inside. I didn't attach it out. I didn't sew it out. But if you want to sew it out, it doesn't matter. You can, after sewing, you knit it with your whipping machine. But I sewed mine in. There is no, you can't see the stitches it out. I sewed it in, so you can do the same. You sew it in such, that way your work will be neat. So this is the finished look, guys. The corset is beautiful. Thank you all for watching. I really appreciate you all. See you all in my next video. Bye bye.